Shalom, 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 Yasha'Allah. This your boy, Brother Shamu Allah, back at you with another quick edifying video. Today's lesson is going to be called Men as Trees. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory. I want to say Kohola Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Qadash. That's all praises to the Heavenly Father, whose name is Yahawah, and his only begotten Son's name, who you ignorantly call Jesus, whose name is Yahawashi, right? And the Holy Spirit, which is the Rawchaa Qadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who have ruled well through the Spirit and have fed and edified the sheep in these last days, and has pushed this gospel and this truth to the four corners of the earth in these last days. A mighty shalom. Let a mighty shalom to all you Akim out there laboring on the highways and hedges and on the unicorn, which is this internet, pushing this 100% doctrine, this 100% truth to the four corners of the earth in these last days. A mighty shalom. All right. Like I said, today's lesson is going to be called Men as Trees. And it was actually inspired, through the Rawchaa Qadash, through one of my during our camp yesterday, the brother Asher, and he had brought out, it was, I believe, the book of Isaiah 65, and it just had me, thinking, just of how we were going to have, the scriptures say. Matter of fact, let's look at it real quick. I'm just going to get to the where he was talking about. But when you read it, right, Isaiah 65, it says new heavens and new earth, right? And this is, going into that new rulership, right, where the kingdom of heaven is going to rule forever, and the Israelites, right, the so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and you, the diaspora, right, your kingdom is going to be coming under the rulership of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. All right. And, he was going into, where is it? When you read about like in Deuteronomy 28, with the curses, it talks about how, matter of fact, let me get that real quick, just so you can see where I'm going. Salakia, take a little minute. But, we know that our people have, been through these curses, and some of these curses, talk about, it says consequences of disobedience, right? And this is for the children of Israel, the so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and you're the diaspora, right? It says, but it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi thy power, it says to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee, right? It says, let's read a couple. It says, cursed shall thou be in the city, and cursed shall thou be in the field. Cursed shall be thy basket and thy store. Cursed shall be the fruit of thy body and the fruit of thy land, thy increase of thine kind, and the flocks of thy sheep. Right? It says, Salaki, where do I want to get to? Let's see. It says, the fruit of thy land, verse 33, and all thy labors shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up, and thou shalt be only oppressed and crushed always. Right? Let's see. Verse 38, it says, thou shalt carry much seed into the field, and thou shalt gather but little, for the locust shall consume it. Thou shalt plant vineyards and dress them, but shalt not drink of the wine thereof, nor gather the grapes of the worms shall eat it. Right? Thou shalt have olive trees throughout all the coasts, but thou shalt not Anoint thyself with oil, for thine oil shall cast his fruit. Let's see. Here we go. Verse 43, it says, the stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail. Right? Now, understanding that, with these curses that, we are currently living in, when the kingdom comes in, these things are going to be reversed. All right. These things are going to be reversed. The curses are going to leave from us. All right. It says, and I'll just start right here. It says, matter of fact, let's start at verse 19, right? Isaiah chapter 65, verse 19, it says, and I will rejoice in Jerusalem and joy in my people, and the voice of weeping shall be no more heard in her, nor the voice of crying. There shall no more thence an infant of days, nor an old man that have filled his days, right? For the child shall die 100 years old, but the sinner being 100 years old shall be accursed, right? So, as far as the promise that was given to us, the Israelites are not going to die anymore, right? There's going to be no more death, right? There's not going to be no more premature babies, right? There's not going to be no more, grandpas dying and stuff like that in the kingdom, for the Israelites, right? But it says, but a sinner being 100 years old shall be accursed, right? Talking about Esau, these other nations, right? They're going to still have to live that death, right? It says, and they shall build houses and inhabit them, and they shall plant vineyards and shall eat of them. Now, remember in Deuteronomy, it said that, we weren't, right, because of those curses, right? It says, this is the point that I wanted to get to, right, that he brought out. It says, they shall not build and another inhabit it. They shall not plant and another eat. For as the days of a tree are the days of my people, and my elect shall long enjoy the work of their hands. All right. But the Lord said, as the days of a tree, right? So it got me thinking, and during camp, I was just trying to look up, um, and there's many scriptures, right, that talk about, that liken men as trees, right? Perfect example is in the book of Mark, right? When Yahawashi was healing the blind man, right? And this is Mark chapter 8, verse 24, and it says, he looked up and he said, I see men as trees walking. Okay. And this is, the Lord restoring the sight to the man who was blind, right? He said, and he looked up and said, I see men as trees walking. Right. Another example of that was the dream that that Daniel had interpreted. That Daniel had interpreted with Salaki. Let me just starting to act up again. That Daniel had interpreted. All right, Salakia. That Daniel had interpreted for Nebuchadnezzar, right? And Nebuchadnezzar had a dream of a great tree, right? And Daniel basically explained it, um, right here it says, the tree that thou sawest which grew and was strong, this is verse 20, Daniel 4 and 20, whose height reached unto heaven, and the sight thereof of all the earth, whose leaves were fair, and the fruit tree thereof, and it was meat for all, under which the beasts of the field dwell, under whose branches the fowls of the heaven had their habitation. It is thou, O king, that thou art grown and become strong, for thy greatness is grown and reacheth unto heaven, and the dominion to the end of the earth, right? So it's another example of just, men being likened unto trees. All right. Uh, Another one was this one right here, the book of Judges, chapter 9, right? It says Judges chapter 9, and we'll start at verse number 8. It says, the trees went forth on a time to anoint a king over them, and they said unto the olive tree, rain down over us. But the olive tree said unto them, should I leave my fatness, wherewith by me they honor the Most High and man, and go to be promoted over the trees? And the trees said to the fig tree, come down and reign over us. But the fig tree said unto them, should I forsake my sweetness and my good fruit, and go to be promoted over all the trees? Then said the trees unto the vine, come down and reign over us. And the vine said unto them, should I leave my wine, which cheereth the Most High and man, and to go to be promoted over the trees? Then said all the trees unto the bramble, come down and reign over us. Right? So we know that this is not talking about literal trees, right? Because trees are not saying, hey, come rule over us, right? But this is just to give you an example, of what was going on. So let's get back to this, right? So I can get to my point, right? This is Isaiah chapter 65, verse 22, Salakia. It says, they shall not build and another inhabit, right? This is talking about the children of Israel, man, right? We're going to be finally in peace and in rulership, our kingdom, which is going to last forever, all right? It says, and another inhabit, they shall not plant and another eat, for as the days of a tree are the days of my people, and my elect shall long enjoy the work of their hands. All right, finally enjoying the labor, of the work that was done, the elect, right? Starting with the elect, but it says, for as the days of a tree are the days of my people, right? So it got me thinking, at camp, how long does a tree last? Does a tree live? So I looked it up, and I think it's the same thing that popped up, right? So it says, and we know that this is, these are like similitudes or parables, right? Because trees live a long life, right? Our people, are dying at childbirth or dying at young ages, right? You got your men getting gunned down in these streets, young women, as well, but the Lord said that, that we're no longer going to die, right? But I just want to read this real quick. So it says, trees can live for hundreds or even thousands of years, but the average lifespan of trees is between 500 to 300 years, depending on the species. It says lifespan of trees depends on the species. Some types last much longer than others. The bristle cone pine, which grow in the mountains of the Nevada and Southern California, has the longest lifespan of any tree in the United States, with a single tree able to live up to 5,000 years, right? And, Esau don't know all that, how long the trees can last. So it says many trees commonly found in backyards across anywhere from 50 to over 100 years. But, the one that caught me was the one that, said the lifespan was 5,000 years. So then I just started to think, uh, how do trees die, right? So it says trees can die due to several factors, right? It says death from its environment, right? Lack of resources such as water, sunlight, and nutrients, right? But remember, the Lord is going to be our everlasting water, right? So when he likened us to like trees, right? Guess what? We won't die because we have that living water, right? When you think of a tree might die because of lack of water, lack of light, right? Yahawashi is that light upon us, that shines upon us, that everlasting light that's going to shine upon us, that water, right? He's that wisdom, knowledge, and understanding is what? Is that bread and water, that food and nutrients that we need, So I see why he's likened men unto trees. Okay, so it says from death from harmful insects or diseases, right? Well, guess what? In our new glorified bodies, we won't be getting sick. We won't die. Nothing will be able to hurt or harm us, right? It says death from catastrophic event, right, such as fire, flood, or wind, right? There's nothing that's going to be able to stop the men of Yahawashi, right? The Israelites in general, you know, once we are in our new bodies. Okay. It says for death from age related, right? Nope, it's not going to happen, right? And death from harvest, right? Like none of this stuff. So, just when looking at what kills trees, right? And it's like number one, when you look, it says from its environment, lack of resources such as water, sunlight, and nutrients, right? And when you look at that, when you pair that to the scriptures, with with Isaiah, right? It says, let's see. I think it was up some. Salakia. Let's see. It says, verse 24, Isaiah 65 and verse 24, it says, it shall come to pass that before they call, I will answer. And while they are yet speaking, I will hear. Right? The Lord is going to continually be with us. Right? He's no longer going to turn his face and back upon us because we were what? Because we were being disobedient, like the curses were upon us, right? Now the curses are going to be lifted from us, right? In these days, right? And we're no longer going to be subject to sin, right? Because the Lord is going to write it into our hearts. He's going to program it into our hearts that we will no longer go off. All right. And when you think about, you see that, the trees, and one of the biggest ones, that I've seen are the redwoods, sequoias, the giant sequoia trees. And growing up in California, I think I've visited this a couple times, right? They actually have one where you can you can drive through it, right? Here's a picture of it, right? You can actually drive, the tree is so huge, and that kind of get me remember like men like unto trees when you read in Genesis, said they were like giants in those days. Our stature, we're gonna get that stature back. We're gonna get that renowned what's we're gonna be those renowned men, of great glory through Yahawah. All right. But just looking at the this tree, how mighty this tree is, right? It says the height is 315 feet, the diameter is 21 feet, right? And it says the age is 2,400 years old, right? And this is just another example of how huge this tree is, man. Look how huge this tree is, right? This tree is ginormous, right? That's a word, but when you look at that, all right. Let's get another one. This lady right here, she's standing near a tree, right? You see, you can barely see her in there, but look how huge this tree is, man, and just see, right? You see her way down. Like these trees are crazy, right? And just to give you another example, the tree, right? You look at that, right? These are people down here, right? And look at the roots of this tree, right? And even when you go up to the top of the tree, it looks like other trees are growing on that tree. That's how huge these trees are, right? And look at the base and the root of the tree. Look how deep the roots are, right? So that got me to going back to John 15, which I've been kind of going into for a while. right? John 15, I'm going to start at verse number 1, right? It says, Yahawashi is divine, right? Followers are the Yahawashi, if you think about it, right? Yahawashi, right? He is the root, right, of the tree, right? And we are, these little branches here, Let's get that. Let's go to John. John chapter 15, verse 1. It says, I am the true vine, and my Father is the husbandman, right? And I want to get what the husbandman is. Right? Husbandman, G1092, right? And the word is Georgas, right? Georgas. And it says a husbandman, a tiller of the soil, and a vine dresser, right? So when you think about, when you look at this, and this is just a good example, right? Yahawashi is the root, and Yahawah is he tends to the soil, right? He tends to the soil as a husbandman, right? You tend to the soil, you make sure the soil is good, right? It has nutrients, right? And those nutrients are absorbed by who? By Yahawashi, right? And Yahawashi, his spirit, is, through the Ruach Qadash is to us, right? As the branches. Okay. So let's go back to that. Right. Let's go back to that. So Yahawashi is the vine, right? He's the root of it, right? And we are the branches, right? And the Heavenly Father is the husbandman, right? Who attends to, the soil, makes sure that it's good, it has the nutrients. All right. It says, every branch in me that beareth not fruit, he taketh away, right? Because the husbandman makes sure that, the tree is good, and he gets rid of, get rid of this one. This branch is not, get rid of that, making sure that the whole is healthy, right? It says, every branch in me that beareth not fruit, he taketh away, and every branch that beareth fruit, he purgeth it, that it may bring forth much more fruit. It says, now ye are clean through the word which I have spoken unto you, right? And remember, you're clean through the water, right? I wonder if it has it in here. Let me see. Let's just go to Ephesians. Ephesians 5:26. Right? So it said, now you are clean by the word which I have spoken to you, right? It says, Ephesians chapter 5, verse 26, that he might sanctify and cleanse it by the washing of water by the word, right? So the word, is likened unto water. That water, what is that? What does the water do for a tree? The water, helps give the tree, nutrients and life, right? So it says that he might sanctify and cleanse it by the washing of the water by the word. Let's go back. Okay, so it says, now you're clean through the word which I have spoken unto you. Okay, and that water is, that's why the scriptures talk about, that living water, that wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. It says, abide in me, John 15:4, and I in you, as a branch cannot bear fruit of itself, except it abide in the vine. No more can ye, except ye abide in me. Right. So a tree, a branch can't survive without the tree, without the root, right? Without the base, it can't survive. Right. It needs that. Okay. And Yahawashi is that. All right. Yahawashi is that for us, right? It says Yahawashi is the vine and the followers are the branches. All right. Um, it says, I am the vine, and ye are the branches. He that abideth in me, and I am him, the same bringeth forth much fruit. For without me, ye can do nothing. Right? We can't do a branch can do nothing without the tree, without the root, without the base of the tree. It can do nothing. All it's going to do is sit. It's going to just sit and wither and dry up, right? And I said it before. Men would gather those dry sticks up and toss them in the fire. Okay. So it says, if a man abide not in me, he is cast forth as branches and is withered, right? And men gather them and cast them into the fire, and they are burned. Okay, because you're not abiding in the root, in the vine, which is Yahawashi, right? Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, or Qadash. All right. So it says, if ye abide in me and my words abide in you, ye shall ask what ye will, and it shall be done unto you. Right? And these words are water, right? This wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Okay. But we have to abide in the tree. So in the vine, which is Yahawashi. Okay. Let's get another one. Right. This is the book of Psalm, chapter 1, verse 3. Actually, verse number 2. Let's start at verse 1, right? It says the righteous and the wicked contrasted. So it says, verse 1, blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. Right? So blessed is that man who does not walk in those ways, right? Doesn't try to be a branch by itself, in the branch of wickedness. Where it says, but his delight is in the law of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, and in his law doeth he meditate day and night. It says, he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water, that bringeth forth his fruit in his season. It says, his leaf also shall not wither, and whatsoever he doeth shall prosper. Right? It says, the ungodly are not so. It says, they are like the chaff which the wind driveth away. Right? You get that wind and just break the branch right off. Right? Destruction. It says, therefore the ungodly shall not stand in the judgment, nor sinners in the congregation of the righteous. It says, for Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi knoweth the way of the righteous, but the way of the ungodly shall perish. Okay. I want to get Jeremiah. And I'm going to start at verse number 7. It says, blessed is the man that trusteth in Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, and whose hope is in Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. It says, for he shall be as a tree planted by the waters, that spreadeth out his roots by the river. Right? Let's take a the picture. So blessed is a man who keeps Yahawah Bahasham. His roots shall be like this, right? Shall be mighty, shall be strong, right? You think this, look at this, and you think about how deep this is in the earth and the soil and the nutrients and the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, right? Let's go back to that. It says, for he shall be as a tree planted by the waters, and that spreadeth out her roots by the river, and shall not see when the heat cometh, but her leaves shall be green, and shall not be careful in the year of drought, neither shall cease from yielding fruit. Right? Because it is rooted deep, right? And it's getting all those that water that's coming from from the river, right? It is drawing that water from that living water from the river. It is becoming a mighty tree. All right. And you see that, man. You see, you can see how the Lord, man, when he likens men unto trees, you can see, this is just an example of how mighty a tree is, man. Right? Look at this right here, man. Look at that. And you can just imagine the roots that are underneath this thing, right? I mean, it's a beautiful thing. All right. Um, and now I wanted to get one last thing, right? So I looked up the importance of a tree, right? Because now let's go back to this. Isaiah 65 and verse 22. It says, they shall not build and another inhabit, they shall not plant and another eat. It says, for as the days of a tree are the days of my people, right? So I looked up what's the importance of a tree. So the importance of trees include air purification. It says trees clean the air we breathe. Okay. And we're going to be on this planet, right? It says when the wicked are in authority, the people mourn, but when the righteous rule, the people rejoice, right? Because we're going to be, teaching these other nations, ultimately, the Heavenly Father, Yahawah's, law, statutes, and commandments. We're going to be breathing that wisdom, knowledge, and understanding on the people, right? Our people are already going to know it. We're already, like the new covenant says that our people, we're already going to know the Lord is going to write it in our hearts. All right. So it says water filtration. So trees filter the water we drink, right? Habit. So trees provide habitat, Salakia, for the wildlife, right? Trees absorb carbon and combat climate change. Trees offer shade, food, recreational space for humans, right? So, but like, a tree, and a man of Bahasham Shai is going to be like a shade and a covering, what is that? Isaiah, right? A man shall be a covering from the wind, right? From the tempest, right? From destruction, right? And if that man is rooted and grounded as a tree planted by the waters, nothing will move him. All right. When destruction hits, all right. And he'll have that trust in Yahawah Shai, right? Like Jeremiah said, Jeremiah, it says, blessed is the man that trusteth in Yahawah Shai, and whose hope Yahawah Shai is. All right. It said he shall be as a tree planted by water, right? Mighty, strong. All right. So I just wanted to do this quick lesson. Lord's will, this was edifying. With that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory. I want to say, Halal Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Qadash. Peace and blessings to the elect of the 12 tribes scattered abroad. A mighty shalom, right? To the 144,000 men and to the rest of the elect. Stay diligent, stay focused, keep enduring, right? And keep, make sure your roots are grounded in Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. All right, like a tree planted near the water. All right, and with that, I want to say shalom.